and they're kind of just roaming around everywhere. They are again, and they kind of burrow themselves in the desert sand. They're like lime green and yellow with like little black markings on them, and it seems that they have a shirt that's grabbing for a little horn. And as you can see, there's black dust, but besides the fun, they're kind of crawling up the walls and into people's homes. So there's been hundreds and hundreds of these all over this neighborhood in the Foothills. That residents are saying that these caterpillars have become quite the pest, quite the infestation, that they're like scooping them up by the dozens. And I spoke to some residents who are very much concerned that they've never seen anything like this before. This is the first time that they've come across this type of infestation with caterpillars, which they were describing as worms, of course, but they're not worms, they're caterpillars, and that they're all over the place. I was even invited into a resident's home I spoke to, which you could catch that interview at NBC at 6 and CBS at 6 p.m. today, where they basically say it's gross, that they don't like them, that it's a nuisance, that they're very much concerned as to when they're leaving, how did they get here, what are they doing here, why is there so many of them. So I spoke to an expert this morning who kind of shed a little bit of light. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my notes because I don't want to get this information wrong. These are insects, caterpillars of course, of the white-lined sphinx moth. So they're pretty large, as you can see. They're almost, they can go up until basically they are here because of the rainy season. We received a lot of rain in these last couple of days, so that kind of attracted them out per se, and they won't be here for much long. So that's the good news, is that residents will not see them year round. They're only here seasonal, and even better news, the expert tells me that we probably won't see this large quantity again in a very long time, which is pretty good news, given that a lot of residents were concerned as to why there's so many. They're just getting into people's home. And again, look at there's a bunch over here, right there. There's just so many of them. I'm not sure if you can kind of see, but they're kind of crawling up the wall, making themselves up the wall, and then there's even more so down there, kind of burrowed, and they kind of hide inside the sand, and then when it starts getting a little bit sunnier, they'll come out of their burrows and kind of look for food. They mostly eat any types of green leaves. And again, I spoke to residents who are not happy about this, that they've never seen anything like this. This is the first time they've come across this type of infestation, and that they're just not happy about it, that it's really gross, and that they're scooping them up literally by the dozens and trying to get rid of them. I'm trying to make sure I don't step on any, because they're all over the sidewalk, all over the road, and they're actually coming from the desert, crossing the road. As you can see, let me try to get a closer look to this one right here. Crossing the road, and then crossing the sidewalk, all over the sidewalk, and then they're climbing up the wall and into residents' home, and they're looking for any types of greens, any types of plants they can kind of eat. And again, they won't be here for a long time. They're not here for the long run or year round. They're kind of only here seasonal, and again, it's because of that rain, a lot of that moisture we received this season that kind of lured them out per se, and they won't be here for much long, and we probably won't see this many quantities in a very long time. So it's something very unusual that is happening here in Yuma County. But again, it's not something to worry about. They're not poisonous, they're not dangerous. It's pretty much just a nuisance they're kind of causing. Here they are again, kind of just wandering around, roaming Yuma County, getting into people's home. I did speak to some residents who have even told me that they're getting into their homes, that they left a garage open and that they just kind of found themselves in there, and that they're scooping them up every 30 minutes, that they'll clean, wait a little bit, and then clean again, that they're just trying to get them out of their patio, their I'll get a close-up of the wall so viewers could see what. Here they are kind of climbing. Pretty windy, and it surprises me that there's so many out. As the day goes on, they'll probably continue coming out. So yeah, if you're a resident of the Foothills and you're seeing these caterpillars, there's not much to worry about other than them being a disturbance. They're not poisonous, not dangerous, and they won't be here for long. Here they are, just kind of walking, roaming around. Could you see the little thorn at the end of its tail? Yeah, they're just all over the place. Very, very unusual. Very curious that this is happening here. Here they are crossing the road. And again, they're like lime green, yellow, with black markings, a little horn, and oh no, I've even been ran over because they're crossing this busy road, but yes, they come from the desert and then they'll just kind of sneak their way up into a resident's home. So that is all of the information I have for you right now. If you want to go ahead and follow us on social media or at kyma.com, we're going to continue to be sending updates on the story. Tonight we will have a full story on this current infestation on NBC at 6, CBS at 6, and even Telemundo at 5 and 10 p.m. So if you want to go ahead and tune in for those so you could hear from the expert herself talk about this type of caterpillar, this type of insect, what it's doing here, how long is it going to be here, and basically, do we need to be worried? Spoiler, the answer is no. But that is all I have for you right now. I'm currently live from the Foothills, and that is all. Thank you so much for tuning in on this live stream, and again, follow us on social media or at KYMA to continue hearing about this current infestation, which has caused a lot of concerns from residents and pretty much has been kind of the talk in the town. So thank you again for tuning in, and don't forget to watch us live at 6 p.m. on NBC and 6 p.m. on CBS and 5 p.m. for our Spanish speaking community at 5 on Telemundo.